Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I am Karen.
And I'm Matt. Today we are looking at part 2 of our article called 3D printed steak. So last time we learned that there are now these printers that can print out a steak that looks like a steak and tastes like a steak so that you don't have to kill animals to eat delicious steak.
Exactly, and then you don't have to feel bad about hurting the animals, right? So I think even maybe some vegetarians nowadays, they might be able to try some too, right? Because I think a lot of people are vegetarians because of this reason. They don't want to hurt animals, right?
That's right. And in the past, there have been a lot of other meat alternatives that vegetarians can eat. You know, there are some meat products, things that look like meat and taste like meat, but a lot of them, what is the hardest to reproduce in them is that texture, that feel that you are really biting into a piece of meat. And that's something that hopefully these 3D printers can solve.
That's true. And it is very interesting. I would love to try a bite. But, you know, I was Googling online for these 3D printed steak. They are actually available in some parts in Europe. And then I think mostly in high-end restaurants. And I think at the moment right now, they are a little more expensive than conventional steak.
Okay, well, that's something that I would like to try too. Maybe even just as a novelty, maybe pay a little bit more just one time to see what 3D printed steak is all about.
That's right. Or maybe, you know, as time passes on, I think it's probably going to become cheaper and cheaper when it becomes more popular, right?
That's right. Okay, let's get into today's article.
There's more to 3D printed steak than just its taste. First, it's good for the environment. The plant-based and lab-grown meat uses fewer natural resources to produce. Second, 3D printed steak causes less pollution than raising cows.
So we're looking at part 2 of our article called 3D printed steak. And we will learn more interesting facts about it in today's article.
That's right. There's more to 3D printed steak than just its taste.
Okay.
So it's not all about the taste. It's not all about the enjoyment of eating meat that was printed by a robot. But there's more to it.
Okay, so let's learn more about it. So it says, first, it's good for the environment. Okay, so we're talking about some benefits, some of the good things about these 3D printed steak. It's not just about the taste, it's not just about the look, it's also good for our environment. So what does it mean when I say environment? That is a noun. The environment basically means everything around us. The air, water, land, plants, and animals, plus the conditions that affect them, like a comfy room or a school. So this is like the area around us. An example sentence would be the environment in the forest is perfect for deer because there's plenty of food and water. Okay, how about let's go over to Tina first and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们继续来聊一聊 3D 列印牛排。那它其实有比味道更值得关注的地方哦。今天的课文就会提到3个大重点。首先呢，它对环境友善。我们来看看这个单字 environment。environment 名词就是环境。We should protect the environment by recycling. 我们应该透过回收来保护环境。文法的部分提到了 There's more to A than B。A 不只有 B， 用来说明 A 的价值不只是有 B。举例来说 There's more to education than just getting good grades。教育不只是获得好成绩。Education 指的就是教育。接着我们回到课文当中。
Thanks, Tina. Now let's get back to the article. The plant-based and lab-grown meat uses fewer natural resources to produce. Okay, so we have a word there which is natural. Natural is an adjective, and natural means coming from nature. So what that means, it is things that are not produced by humans, things that are not made by humans. And when we talk about natural resources, we are talking about the things that we get from nature to be used by humans. So things like water, things like wood, these are natural resources that we can take from nature to use for ourselves.
That's right. So these 3D printed steak, it does not use up a lot of our natural resources. So that's also another benefit. That's also another good thing about it. Second, 3D printed steak causes less pollution than raising cows. Okay, this is also another benefit of eating the 3D printed steak because, raising cows, it might cause more pollution. It's worse to our environment, right? It causes more pollution to the environment than, raising cows. Now, what does it mean to raise cows? To raise, that is a verb. So to raise animals means to take care of animals, feed them, and keep them safe until they are fully grown. It often happens on a farm where people look after animals like chickens, cows, or sheep for food or to help them grow. Now, an example sentence would be, my uncle raises chickens on his farm to get fresh eggs every morning.
Okay, so this means that eating this kind of 3D printed meat is not just for vegetarians. It's not just for people who are curious about this new technology, but it can be for everyone because we all need our environment and we all want less pollution in the environment and we all love eating steak.
Exactly. Okay, let's go over to Tina first and we'll be right back.
前面提到 3D 列印牛排，第一个好处就是对环境友善，因为制造植物肉和培植肉所使用的自然资源比较少。第二个好处则是，比起饲养牛只，3D 列印牛排造成的污染会更少。刚刚课文里提到这个单字 natural 形容词自然的。Natural light from the sun is good for your health. 来自太阳的自然光对你的健康很好。Raise 动词饲养。My grandmother raises cows on her farm. 我的祖母在她的农场饲养牛只。那我们赶快回到课文里看看 3D 列印牛排的第三个好处吧。
Thank you, Tina. And now we are back. Okay, so from our article so far, there are actually a lot of benefits, a lot of great things about these 3D printed steak. Not just because people want to avoid killing animals, but it's actually better for our environment. It uses fewer natural resources and causes less pollution, right?
That's right. So maybe we should all try and get out there and find a place where you can try out some 3D printed meat. But we've got some more benefits of this product when we come back for the second part of our article.
Third, it creates less food waste. Last, chefs can print the steak in different shapes and sizes to make eating more fun. In the future, ordinary people will be able to get their hands on 3D meat printers. Then they can have more control over how they eat and live. How cool is that?
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we learned a lot of wonderful things about these 3D printed steak, how it's better for our environment, and it uses fewer natural resources, and it causes less pollution than raising animals and raising cows, right?
That is correct. So we have a third reason. A third, it creates less food waste. So waste means the unneeded, unwanted, or unusable byproducts of some sort of process, like making food. If you are making a sandwich, but you don't want to eat the crust, so you throw those away. You cut off the ends of the tomato, throw those away. Those are all waste, things that are not being used, things that cannot really be used because who wants to eat the crust?
Okay, well, let's continue with our article. Last, chefs can print the steak in different shapes and sizes to make eating more fun. I guess you're right. I mean, since you can create or print your own steak, it doesn't have to be a specific size or shape. It could be anything. You can like make a heart, or you can make like a car or an airplane, right?
Well, you could already eat a heart of an animal that, but
In the shape of a heart.
shape. Oh,
That's
yes,
right.
okay.
That's what I mean. Like different shapes and sizes to make eating more enjoyable and more fun, right?
That does sound pretty cool. I can think of so many possibilities of different shapes, maybe like a little steak house that I could cut into. That would be fun.
So it's not just about eating, but it's also about having fun at the same time. That sounds wonderful. Okay, let's go over to Tina first and we'll be right back.
3D 列印牛排的第3个好处就是能减少食物浪费。另外呢，厨师还可以将牛排列印成不同的形状和大小，让用餐更有乐趣。课文里面这个单字 waste 名词就表示浪费。Throwing away food is a big waste. 把食物丢掉非常浪费。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, thank you, Tina. Now let's get back to the article. In the future, ordinary people will be able to get their hands on 3D meat printers. Okay, so not just the rich and famous and vegetarian, but everyone could get their hands on, means to have. You can get your hands on something means you will be able to buy and have something. So everyone can have one in their home.
That's right. And then like I'm saying, you know, we were talking about before, right now they're not so popular yet. So they're probably still very, very expensive. But as they become more popular, more people are making them, they will not be so expensive to own, right?
That's right. A lot of the food products we have in our kitchens today were at one point only in restaurants because they were too expensive. But as they become more popular, they start to be in people's homes and they become cheaper and everyone can have one.
That's right. Okay. And then now the article continues. Then they can have more control over how they eat and live. How cool is that? And that is definitely true. They can have more control over. So when some things or someone has more control over something, that means to have the power, authority, or ability to manage or to make decisions about a person or thing or situation. It means being in charge of how something behaves or happens. You have more control over it. Now, an example sentence would be, you have control over your own actions, like choosing to be kind. And then if you have control over how you eat and how you live, that would be pretty wonderful, right? If you can choose, hey, I want to print out this kind of meat today. Tomorrow, I want to print out this kind of meat. That was pretty amazing.
Right, I could print out meat in the shape of all the vegetables so that I don't have to actually eat vegetables anymore. I only eat meat-shaped vegetables.
And they don't give you the same nutritional value, right?
Wow, but they'd be more delicious.
That's true. Okay, let's go over to Tina first and we'll be right back.
未来呢，一般民众能够拥有自己的3D 肉类列印机哦。到那个时候呢，民众就能够更全面的掌控他们的饮食和生活了，这简直太酷了，我好想试试看哦。那这里有2个文法重点，我们先来看一下 Somebody gets one's hands on something， 某人买到得到某物，这是一个固定用法。举例来说 I finally got my hands on the new video game， 我终于买到了那款新的电玩游戏。第2个文法A has control over B. A 对 B 有掌控权。Control 指的就是控制，是一个不可数名词。比如说 Mr. Black has control over the class. Black 老师管这个班。接着我们回到课文当中。
Thank you, Tina. And now we are back. Okay, so we learned a lot of wonderful things about these 3D printed steak, you know. I think in the future, we might be able to own one, or like ordinary people like us, and we can choose how we want to live, how we want to eat. That's just amazing.
Right, I'm looking forward to when I can print a pizza that is entirely just steak. We'll call it the pizza. All right. Well,
we will see a lot of creative things. Let me just say that.
That's right. That's all the time we have for today. So we'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
There's more to 3D printed steak than just its taste. First, it's good for the environment. The plant-based and lab-grown meat uses fewer natural resources to produce. Second, 3D printed steak causes less pollution than raising cows. Third, it creates less food waste. Last, chefs can print the steak in different shapes and sizes to make eating more fun. In the future, ordinary people will be able to get their hands on 3D meat printers. Then they can have more control over how they eat and live. How cool is that?
最后，我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，environment 名词环境 ，natural 形容词自然的 ，raise 动词饲养 ，waste 名词浪费。接着我们来看文法的部分 ，There's more to A than B，A 不只有 B。There's more to life than making money， 生命中有比赚钱更重要的事。Somebody gets one's hands on something. 某人买到得到某物。Harris got his hands on the secret file. Harris 得到那份机密文件了。A has control over B. A 对 B 有掌控权。Tina has control over the whole project. Tina 掌管整个专案。以上就是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哟。
Hey, 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 it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki. And I'm Winnie. And today we're going to the supermarket. The most common offer you'll see is buy one, get one free, which means you pay for one item and get another item without paying for it. Sometimes it's worded as buy two for one, a 2-for-1 sale. That means you buy 2 items for the price of 1. Here we have something called 折,八折. When I first moved to Taiwan, I thought that meant 80% off, but actually it means 20% off, or you could think of it as you're only paying 80%. A special offer is when stores give you a cheaper deal on certain products. So now you know what different discounts mean at the supermarket. That's all we have for today. Remember to follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or an email if there's something you want to say in English but you don't really know how to say it. Kiki, is there anything else you want to say? Those chips are on sale. Kiwi later. Just grab it all.